Hello students, I am Dr. Sujit Kumar Agarwal. I am Associate Professor in the Department of Applied Sciences and Humanities at Kamala Nehru Institute of Technology, Sultanpur. This is my third lecture and we are studying electromagnetic field theory. This is module 2 of the course of the subject physics, whose code in AKTU is KS 101T and KS 201T. So, let us see what we have learned in previous lectures. In previous lectures, we learned fundamental laws of electricity and magnetism, namely Gauss's law, Faraday's law, Ampere's law, and absence of magnetic monopoles. And we wrote them in integral form. Then we understood some mathematical concepts, namely vector and scalar function, gradient of a scalar function, divergence, curl of a vector function and their physical meaning. We also learned divergence theorem, which is used to convert surface integral into volume integral, and Stokes theorem, which is used to convert line integral into surface integral. Further, we obtained differential form of the above mentioned laws of electricity and magnetism. In this lecture, we will see what is continuity equation for current, how is it obtained and what does it represent. Then we will understand integral and differential forms of fundamental laws of electricity and magnetism, and we will see how Ampere's law is not applicable in case of time varying fields and currents. Further, we will learn how Ampere's law has been modified by Maxwell to make it applicable for time varying fields and currents. What is displacement current and what is its physical significance? So, let us start. First of all, we will understand continuity equation for current. So, continuity equation is a statement of conservation of charge. What is conservation of charge? It means if currents are diverging from a region, then amount of charge in the region will decrease. In figure, a surface S is shown in red color. This is a closed surface encloses a volume. So, the surface S, there is charge Q enclosed by surface S and currents are diverging from this region. This is shown by black arrows. Current density is J. Current density is J at a surface element ds. That is, if we consider a closed surface S in a region where currents are flowing, then total outward current from the closed surface S will be equal to rate of decrease in amount of charge in the volume enclosed by the closed surface. If J is current density at the surface element ds, surface element surface element means it is a small area, surface area ds, and if we represent surface area ds by vector, then direction of the area vector is normal to the surface. So, vector ds makes angle theta with current direction of current density J at the surface element ds. Then outward current, what will be outward current? Current density J is ampere per meter square, current per unit surface area. So, current from the surface element ds is J dot ds. Now, if we integrate J dot ds over the whole closed surface, then we will get total current. So, total current is dq by dt rate of change of current. So, surface integral J dot ds equal to minus dq by dt. Left hand side represents the total outward current and right hand side is rate of change in amount of charge within the volume enclosed by the closed surface. Now, the right hand side we will write it in terms of volume charge density. So, let us see this slide. Further, let us consider a small volume dV. In the volume enclosed by the surface S, let us consider a small volume dV, and if rho is charge density at the site of volume element dV, then what will be amount of charge in volume dV? It will be rho dV. Now, if we integrate rho dV over the whole volume which is enclosed by the surface S, then we will get total amount of charge which is enclosed by the surface S. So, we have this equation for charge q. The amount of charge in the volume enclosed by surface S is given by q equal to volume integral rho dV. Now, continuity equation we have shown in the last slide, surface integral J dot ds. This surface integral is evaluated over the closed surface. Surface integral J dot ds is equal to minus dq by dt. So, we will substitute the value of J value of q in this equation, and we get right hand side as minus delta by delta t volume integral rho dV. So, this equation can be written as volume integral delta rho by delta t dV, and now the continuity equation becomes this. So, what we have done? We have changed surface integral on left hand side into volume integral by using divergence theorem, and it becomes volume integral del dot j dV, and now volume integral on both sides has been removed. So, we get del dot j equal to minus delta rho by delta t. So, this continuity equation shows that divergence of current density J at a point is equal to negative rate of change of volume charge density at that point. And what does this continuity equation show? This shows the conservation of charge, law of conservation of charge. So, let us recall the laws of electricity and magnetism which we have learned already. So, first law is Gauss's law of electricity, and this law left hand side we have written integral form. These laws are in integral and differential forms. Integral form is integral E dot ds equal to q by epsilon 0, or it is equal to 1 by epsilon 0 volume integral rho dV, and in the differential form it is written as del dot E equal to rho by epsilon 0. We have already proved these equations. We have already shown these equations, physical significance of these equations we have already understood. This law shows that the total outward normal electric flux from a closed surface S is proportional to the charge enclosed by the surface. This law is valid for time varying case. For suppose electric and magnetic fields are changing with time or not, this law is valid in both the cases. This second law is Faraday's law of electromagnetism. uh, uh, the integral on the left hand side is evaluated over a closed path. So, line integral of electric field evaluated over a closed path is equal to minus delta by delta t surface integral B dot ds, as surface integral is evaluated at the surface which is enclosed by the closed path. So, this law is actually induced EMF is equal to minus d phi by dt. In the differential form, this can be written as del cross E equal to minus delta V by delta t. This law is also valid for time varying as well as static electric and magnetic fields. The third law is surface integral B dot ds equal to 0. Here surface integral is evaluated over a closed surface. If we evaluate integrate magnetic field over a closed surface, then it is always 0. Why? This is because magnetic field lines are closed curves, they do not have sources and sinks. Free magnetic poles do not exist in nature. So, this law is also valid for time varying as well as static case. And here is the fourth law, which is Ampere's law. This Ampere's law is not valid for time varying case. If electric fields, magnetic fields, currents, these are changing with time, then this law is not valid. This is valid only for static case. Here left hand side, in the left hand side integral is evaluated over a closed path, magnetic field is integrated over a closed path, and in the right hand side current density J is evaluated over the surface which is enclosed by the closed path. Mu is permeability of the medium. In differential form, this is written as del cross B equal to mu J, J is current density. This law is Ampere's law is not valid for time varying case. We will see it. So, Ampere's law is not is valid only for steady state. Let us see how. Ampere's law in differential form is written as del cross B equal to mu J. Let us take curl on the both sides. Let us take divergence on the both sides. So, left hand side becomes divergence of del cross B, and on the right hand side we get mu times del dot J. Now, divergence of curl of a vector is always 0. Divergence of curl of a vector function is always 0. So, from this equation we get del dot J equal to 0. So, Ampere's law is valid only when del dot J equal to 0. All the three laws, Faraday's law, Gauss's law, and non-existence of magnetic monopoles, all these laws are valid for time varying as well as static case, but Ampere's law is valid only when del dot J equal to 0. So, James Clerk Maxwell, a Scottish mathematician, he modified Ampere's law for time varying case, and he established the theoretical basis for electromagnetic waves. Let us see how. Modification of Ampere's law for time variation. Maxwell modified Ampere's law for time varying electric and magnetic fields, and he used continuity equation. Continuity equation is a statement of conservation of charge, we have seen in the earlier slide. So, this is continuity equation del dot J equal to del dot J plus delta rho by delta T equal to 0. J is current density and rho is volume charge density. From Gauss's law we have seen del dot E equal to rho by epsilon 0. So, from this law, from Gauss's law we can evaluate rho, volume charge density, rho is epsilon del dot E. Epsilon is permittivity of the medium and value of this rho we can substitute in continuity equation. So, we get del dot j plus epsilon del dot delta E by delta t equal to 0, or we can take common del dot. So, we can write del dot bracket j plus epsilon delta E by delta t equal to 0. Continuity equation is true always in all the cases, whether currents, charge densities, electric magnetic fields are time varying or static. So, del dot j plus epsilon delta E by delta t is always 0, whether fields and currents are time varying or not. So, Ampere's law was valid only for del dot j equal to 0, but even though del dot j is 0 only for static fields and currents, del dot j plus epsilon delta E by delta t is 0 always for static as well as time varying case. So, in the Ampere's law is written on the right hand side, del cross B equal to mu j. In the Ampere's law, if j is replaced by j plus epsilon delta E by delta t, then this law will be valid for static as well as time varying case. So, in this way we can get modified Ampere's law as del cross B equal to mu times j plus epsilon delta E by delta t. And this law is valid for time varying and static case. The equation del cross B equal to mu times j plus epsilon delta E by delta t, this equation is known as modified Ampere's law, and this equation was modified by Maxwell. So, this modification of Ampere's law, this brings in a new phenomenon. So, what is it? Let us see. From Maxwell's modified Ampere's law, we have del cross B equal to mu j plus mu epsilon delta E by delta t. Here this second term on right hand side brings in a new induction phenomenon in which a time varying electric field is inducing a magnetic field. It is similar to Faraday's law. In Faraday's law, a time varying magnetic field induces an electric field. Similarly, modified Ampere's law shows that a time varying electric field induces a magnetic field. So, we can substitute B equal to mu H. H is magnetic field and B may be called magnetic induction field. H is when a magnetic field is established, the material medium also gets magnetized. So, B magnetic field, when we measure B magnetic field, then it is the net magnetic field, and H is actually magnetizing field. We write magnetic field B in Tesla, unit of B is Tesla, but unit of H is ampere per meter. Okay. So, in modified Ampere's law we can substitute B equal to mu H, and then mu on the both sides can be cancelled. So, modified Ampere's law can also be written as del cross H equal to j plus epsilon delta E by delta t. Okay. So, and epsilon E we can write as d vector d. This is called as electric displacement and it is measured in coulomb per meter square. It has the same unit as the polarization vector. So, if you learn polarization of a dielectric, then you will know about polarization vector. So, epsilon E is known as electric displacement D. It has nothing to do with the common understanding of displacement. It is different. It is called as electric displacement D equal to epsilon E. Now, here del cross H equal to J plus delta D by delta T. Now, the two terms on the right hand side J and delta D by delta T, or J and epsilon delta E by delta T, both terms have the same dimensions. So, epsilon delta E by delta T has dimensions of current density actually. The dimension of each term in the above equation are those of current density. Here J is conduction current density, which is due to flow of real charges, while JD is known as displacement current density. JD is called as displacement current density. So, what does this represent? Let us understand. The total current which is flowing in wires, the total current which is flowing in wires is already J. Current J is the rate of flow of charge per unit area through per unit area. So, J current you measure in by ampere meter, you can measure current. So, all the total current which is flowing in wires is already J, then what does current JD represent? JD is epsilon delta E by delta T, and this is related to time variation of electric field. If electric field is varying with time, then epsilon delta E by delta T is non-zero, and this is this has the dimension of current density. Displacement current establishes the continuity of current in the circuit. What we are understanding what is the physical significance of displacement current. So, let us see this figure. Let us consider a charged capacitor discharging through a resistance. Here conduction current J flows in the wires, conduction current J flows in the wires. This conduction current is not continuous in the gap between the condenser plates, as no actual charge is transferred between the plates through the gap. So, conduction current flows through the wires, but in the gap between the two condenser plates the current is discontinuous, because plates are separated, they are not in contact with each other. So, it seems that current is discontinuous, but this discontinuity is removed by displacement current. Here time varying electric field, that is displacement current, plays the role of conduction current in the gap between the two plates of the condenser. In the wires current is J, and in the gap current is JD. So, current is continuous throughout the circuit. If Q is charge on the condenser plate, then if Q is charge on the condenser plate, then what will be the electric field in the gap between the plates? It is Q by epsilon A. A is electric field in the gap between the condenser plates is sigma by epsilon. Sigma is surface charge density on the condenser plates, and sigma is it is Q by A. So, electric field in the gap between the condenser plates is q by epsilon A. So, what is the current, what is the displacement current in the gap? Displacement current J D is epsilon delta E by delta T. We can substitute value of E electric field in this equation. So, it is 1 by A delta Q by delta T. E electric field is Q by epsilon A. So, when we substitute this value, we have 1 by A delta Q by delta T. This delta Q by delta T is current. So, this is J D is equal to the current density J, conduction current, which is conduction current in wires. So, J D is same as the conduction current in wires. That is, the displacement current in the gap is same as the conduction current in wires. That is all for this lecture. In the next lecture, we will understand Maxwell's electromagnetic equations, physical significance of Maxwell's equations and electromagnetic waves in free space. Thank you.